Okay. Hopefully this is it, dude. Yeah, that definitely should have been it, but we can do it. Just got to get back. That was such a clean run too, man. That was so clean. Wish I had an input viewer to see how late I rolled when I got hit. Because I think I definitely wasn't that late. Like, it was probably right, you know, right at the end or something. Warax, thanks for the 3-month resub, dude. Welcome back. Oh, yeah, I guess I could do that, Bender. Maybe. I'm just kind of curious more than anything. Like, obviously, I rolled late. All the strats looked good though at the at that final area. Like we made it through there very easily. Everything looked good. And then there's just like that's the whole game, dude. There's one more running section after that, and then was that oh shit, dude. That guy tried to shoot me there. Maybe I should kill him. I didn't know he could shoot you. Yeah, after that boss is dead, there's just one more section and the game's over. Oh, why did I use this? Actually, it's fine. We're just inching closer and closer to getting it, dude. You know, the first run today got ended to Flame Lurker, and then the next one was to right before Dirty Colossus, and then that one on Penetrator, and then, you know. Yeah, just based off of this, I'm thinking that this game could easily be a late game in the God Run 3, dude. I'm thinking this could be like even a game 6, potentially. Or even 7. It seems so consistent, dude. And the fact that this quickly, we're already getting this consistent, and And most of the hits, like 2 of the hits that we've taken today were not based on a mistake. It was just based on like a bad strat or a bad route through the area. Obviously, that penetrator hit was just a mistake. But so like those 2 hits, knowing what I know now, would not have happened. So yeah, the consistency is looking good. It'd be funny if now I just start dying every time before we get to Man-Eater or something. Or get hit a bunch of times on Man-Eater. Yeah, we're doing the 12-minute poison strat on Elant. Like, legitimately 12 minutes of poisoning him. Which is why the run is totally free at the end. And it should be free once we make it past, like, I don't even know, dude. Based on how I'm feeling, once we make it past, like, Storm King, the run's over, dude. It should be. Yeah, that's what people were saying, Bender. What? Yeah, once we get past Storm, or even maybe Flame Lurker is a little bit dangerous, potentially. So once we make it past Flame Lurker, the run should be over. Because everything's looking great up to that point. Unless I make a mistake, obviously. Like I did last run. Yeah, based on how good I am at the game right now, I think poisoning is the obvious strategy. Because I don't have nearly enough time on him to know all the like little things he can do. I was gonna fight him legit, but then, you know, I was fighting him the other day because my 2-hit PB had a hit on him. And so I was practicing him, and then he just started doing, like, he's got a bunch of cancels that I didn't even know existed. And those cancels is what scares me the most. I figured out, like, I think I figured out the glitch charge pretty well. But it's just the, it's all the cancels into stuff. Like, he can backstep into stuff, and then he can, you know, instantly come out of a stagger into a quick attack as well. And that stuff is scary, man. I'm sure if I had more experience at the game, then I would know everything that's possible and it would be easy, but I don't. Yeah, the insane magic only Sekiro. You could do a magic God Run 2, but obviously Sekiro, like, man, if that doesn't just demonstrate how much of an outlier Sekiro is for the God Run 3, then I don't know what will. Like, you could do a magic only God Run 3 until you hit Sekiro, and then you just can't do anything. Like, I've been saying that I really don't think Sekiro belongs in this run. Magic only Bloodborne? I guess so, but it's different, right? At least there's magic in that game, so you could, you know, set up to a point where you can get magic and then use it, I guess. But in Sekiro, you just, like, you have no option, like, unless you use prosthetics or something, but completely different. Well, maybe it's not that different. Prosthetic only, dude. That would be fun. Yeah, there's like the arcane in Bloodborne.
With your soul.
All right, let's keep the consistency going, dude. All I need is one more attempt. One more attempt past Flame Lurker. And I think I'll get it. What's up, Jay-Z? Yeah, because I completely choked the last run somehow, man. Can't say I really choke stuff too often, but I think it's just the like inexperience at a lot of these fights. It's kinda, or at least that one. PB means personal best. What is that, Agiad? Alex, thanks for the good luck, dude. Did I get the tiara? Please tell me I did. Man, what am I doing? Which show is it from? Oh, Game of Thrones. I don't know, because it looks cool, I guess. House of Dragons. That is the, there's like a second Game of Thrones? I didn't know that. I don't really watch TV shows, so... I mean... Oh, prequel. Somehow I haven't heard a lot about that. But when Game of Thrones was... I mean... I remember that because fucking everybody talked about it all the time. Taking the wrong turn. Well, it's not that I took the wrong turn, it's that I just forgot to pick up an item. Our timing's messed up. For whatever reason. I think it's because I forgot the item. This enemy is probably pathing that whole time. Wait, is the Last of Us show actually like the exact same stories as the games? I guess they're just trying to get like the non-gamers into it, dude. The show watchers. What do you guys think there's more of? People who play video games or people who watch TV shows? I mean, it's gotta be TV show people, right? Or if... Yeah, I don't know. But maybe... Yeah, probably. Dude, they're trying to get all those people watching it, dude. It'd be harder to run the original PS3 version. I don't think so. Just based on, well, actually, there's some remake specific stuff that we do though. So I'm not sure if like without that it would be much harder. I'd imagine it's similar. Wait, what is that number username? But is that like revenue you're saying? And is that like TV shows or is that like all broadcasting? Because, I mean, I don't know. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who like watch the Super Bowl but don't watch like fucking Netflix shit or something, right? I guess that's kind of what I meant. I kind of meant like the subscription services. There's probably still more out soon. Yo, Wook Ash, thanks for the brand new sub, dude. Dark Souls TV series with item description. Yeah, imagine, dude. You pick up an item and you have to follow the story by just reading what's in the item description. And then like there's a bunch of characters who just say a bunch of random words. But since you don't know any of the story beforehand because you had to read it in item descriptions, you just have no fucking idea what's going on. Sounds pretty cool. I'm sure some people would be into that, but it'd probably work better as a book and not a show. As a book, I think it'd be fine. I actually think that might be a cool idea, though, for a book. Like, you tell the stories of Dark Souls, but in fucking item descriptions only. Like, every page you turn, it's like an item, and then in the description, and you just have to kind of, like, piece it together. I guess that's kind of what the game's supposed to be, but somehow it sounds cooler if it was in a book. Because then the point of the book is to actually figure out what's going on, instead of, like, trying to play a game and then you got this like decent gameplay and there's just some story happening that you just have no idea about. At least for me. It'd be funny. Was the audio delayed for that whole fight? Like, it was weird. Because there's a lot of sounds happening, so if the audio's delayed on that, it probably looked really bad. That's okay. Live splicing, dude. Someone's gonna make a video about me about my insane spliced Demon Souls run. And the proof is gonna be in the desynced audio. Like, I messed up the editing and the audio's all fucked up and... one second, you guys. Okay. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, no, they make a video about my spliced run and then like the desync audio and then like the game cuts out for a second because I'm fixing the audio, but it's like, oh yeah, clearly a big splice, dude. Insane. Surely that's gonna happen. It's actually funny back in the day, not really to me as much, but to a lot of other runners, like the kind of the OG runners like Squilla and Fraz and probably Hob too, I'd imagine. So many people thought that these runs were fake. And even like me to a little bit, people, I like when I had like fucking 0 viewers getting my first couple runs, people were like, oh yeah, you clearly are faking this. And it's like, well, I mean, they're literally watching it happen live right now. But yeah, but what I think it always was is that people who think the runs are fake, they just, if they came to one stream and they just saw like the process of getting runs, and it'd be impossible to think it's fake if you saw like what we're doing right now, right? Unless it's just some elaborate, unless you thought it was some elaborate like scheme to make it seem like it's real, like I'm throwing these runs at the end or something, and then like all of a sudden I play the spliced VOD. Yeah, a lot of people used to think the runs were fake a while ago, but I don't think it's like that as much anymore. Probably because there's just so many people who have done runs at this point that, like, I don't know, got to be some like crazy conspiracy guy to think that all the runs are fake. Oh yeah, no, it definitely happens, but I'm just saying. I think I saw the guy you're talking about. Like, I don't know, was it GDQ or I forget what game it was, but I remember seeing the Carl Jobs video. Unless it's a different guy. But yeah, I don't know. I think faking. I've talked about it before. I think cheating runs is probably it has to just be more common in speedrunning, right? Because when you think about what speedrunning actually is, it's about grinding the RNG a lot of the time, right? You can save a lot of time in your life by, like, say you did speedruns and you always got the perfect RNG against people who didn't, like a dream situation or something. Think about how much time you're saving by doing that. And then there's the huge incentive to do it because you're just saving your time in real life. Like, it becomes way less of a grind. But no hit runs don't have that. And so I think that's why it's so rare to hear about somebody like faking a no hit run. It has happened. It's happened a few times. And I used to be like a verified for teammate list. Nobody's ever sent me a fake run, at least that I know of. But I do remember a few people sending fake runs in where they like clearly had infinite iframes on. But I think the reality is, though, if somebody it's impossible for me to say if this is true or not, but I think it's actually based on just the number of people who have done hitless runs and are on Team Hitless. There's probably at least one person who, like, there's over 1,000 people on Team Hitless, right? There's probably at least one person who slipped through the cracks, right? Either they They had some clever way of faking the run or something. Because the ways that are obvious to tell is infinite iframes, obviously, right? When somebody has infinite iframes on and an attack just phases straight through the character. Oh, whoops. We're going to Maneater now. And yeah, there's one guy, the most recent one that I remember, there's one guy who submitted a run where he was in high wall. I'm sure some people know about it, but he was in high wall and an arrow literally went straight through his character, man. Like straight through. Clean. Right in the chest. And then they like submitted that run somehow. I don't know how you could just not realize that an arrow went straight through your character, but that was the most recent one. And that was like probably 2 years ago. That was a while ago. I'm just not focused at all, you guys. Do I even have the right stats right now? I guess it's not the end of the world if I have water, but I don't need it right now, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. But yeah, cheating in no-hit runs makes no sense, especially now. It made more sense back in the day when no-hit runs were considered some, like, crazy thing to do. And people wanted to join the exclusive group of, like, 4 people who have done it, like Hob, Faraz, and Skula. But now, like, it's been proven time and time again that literally any single person can do a no-hit run. As long as you just have, like, some amount of time to dedicate to it. So there's no reason to try to like fake a run to get on the team or something. It's not like the same level of prestige of getting a no-hit run anymore, which isn't, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but it means that people are less likely to try to want it so badly that they would just cheat it. Yeah, 100% Arco, yeah. No-hit runs are overall, like 95% of the time, are personal challenges, although there can be some competition when it comes to getting, like, the first no-hit run in something. And the times I remember people cheating in the past, before I was a verifier for Team Hitless, back in the day, I remember there was some guy who had a run where they, I'm sure, like, if you have been here long enough, you know about the person. This was before I started no-hit running. They faked an all bosses base game Dark Souls 3 SL1 no-hit run. And, like, it would have been the world's first, I guess, if they actually did it legit. But they, like, clearly did not. Not sure how we got on this topic, but... Oh, yeah, my point was that in speedrunning, I feel like you just see a lot more of that than in no-hit running. It's so rare, no-hit runs to see that. Skip the regeneration ring. Yeah, I don't need it for anything. I guess some people use it for the swamp, but the way I go through swamp perfectly sets up my Lever Rats ring. And so having the regen would just mess it up. Was it proven that they did not, like... How was it proven that they cheated, you're saying? Or... both of the like examples I can think of, it's just, people not getting hit by attacks that they should have gotten hit by, right? And it's that simple. There was the main one was they literally buffed inside of the Osiris mist attack, and like they were inside of it and were buffing. And then there was some other, like, obvious thing, and yeah, the other guy, like I said, an arrow went straight through his character. But it's so funny when you look at it. I'm sure there's still clips of it somewhere, right? If you ask V-Sweat, I'm sure he has a clip of it. Like, fucking, yeah, standing right in the mist, dude. I guess he was, like, kind of on the edge, but anybody who knows the game well would know that is fucking gonna connect with you. And yeah, the other guy was even worse because it was so obvious that the arrow just went straight through his character that, like, there's no possible way that somebody could watch that and be like, oh yeah, that's possible. Like we're playing fucking Matrix or something, dude. Matrix game. But yeah, it's almost like people who would try to cheat aren't maybe the smartest people, huh? Like almost. It almost seems that way. It's like, maybe I should watch my run over carefully to make sure there's nothing bad. Like, no, just send it in, dude. Just send it. Yeah, who would have thought, dude? I wonder if some people think it's like insulting that people try to cheat runs or not. I find it hilarious, dude. Anytime that happens, and like I said, it doesn't happen very often, but and I'm sure it's happened in some cases now. Like I'm not a verifier for teammate lists anymore. I'm sure it's happened more cases that I just don't know about. They're like kept quiet. Just because there's no point in like trying to bring it out, especially if it's someone like, who knows, man? Like maybe somebody who is really involved has done it, and it just disappeared because of it, and I just have no idea. I don't think so. Like usually, if someone is really committed to hit lists, like they probably, probably wouldn't do that. I would assume. But like, even what's the point if you're already on team hit list? There's literally, like, it makes no sense, dude. So. All right, back to man-eaters, almost. Oh, you fucking idiots. Oh, why would I do that? Yeah, this game does look really good as Zythrall. Wait, I didn't see your question, Raven. Oh, wait. Ban or blacklist people? Well, it's not necessarily a ban, because if somebody, if somebody does do a cheated run, or they find their run to like be cheated willfully, because there's been times where people have submitted runs and it's not a legit run, but not because they cheated, because they like didn't see a hit or something. And that's kind of the whole point of the verification stuff. But yeah, it's not like they just can't ever get back on. Like if they did and they submitted a run that was found to be fine, then like, I'm not sure if that ever happened. Like usually if somebody cheated a run, like the few instances I can think of, they just disappeared. So, but yeah, I remember we had that discussion, and it's like, yeah, I mean, if they send a run in, obviously it's going to be very like scrutinized because they have a history. But if the run is fine that they submit and they did it legit, then they can be on the team. Yeah, the one thing, the one instance of missing a hit that I can think of that was like actually insanely hard to see, unless you like until you see it like slowly. There's one time where actually I'm trying to, when Valkyrie did Trilogy, what was the hit that was missed? I can't remember. But yeah, there's one runner who they were dropping down before Yorm. And they iframed a fireball, but then it hit behind them and hit their character as they were falling in. And when you're falling in Dark Souls 3, you can't be stunned or anything. Like you just keep the same animation. So when you're watching it in like real time, and somebody showed me the clip, they're like, "Do you think this is a hit?" And I watched it in like, in full speed. I'm like, I don't see a hit. And then I looked at it more carefully, and I'm like, oh shit, they like totally got hit by that fireball AoE. And something like that could just so easily get missed. I think it's more likely that there have been runs accepted to hit lists that actually had a hit on them that just nobody noticed than like people actually willfully cheating a run. And I was actually thinking the other day, I wonder if I've ever had a run where I took a hit, because I've done hundreds of runs at this point, right? I've probably done almost 200 runs. I wonder if there's ever been a run where I've actually gotten hit and I never noticed. I don't think so, but who knows, man? There's some weird hits that you can take in the games where like an enemy lands on your head and you take like a couple HP damage, but you don't necessarily see it. My mosquito hit? Oh yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. Yeah, because I thought it was fall damage, and I was, I didn't play the game for a while, so I actually couldn't remember if that dealt fall damage to you. in that drop. But yeah, that's such a weird hit. Even watching that in slow motion, it doesn't even look like I got hit at all, but like the plunge changed the hitbox of the enemy. And so, but yeah, exactly. It's something exactly like that. I'm sure it's happened. I'm not sure if it's happened to me though. I'm sure it's happened to somebody. I mean, it already has happened. It's been caught, but there must be instances where it hasn't gotten caught. Think about all the runs that people have done over the years. I don't know the exact number of people on Team Hitlist, but it's definitely over 1,000 at this point. And you know, most people have done probably, like on average, I would say probably most people have done like 3 runs on average. Just like accounting for the people like me who've done like hundreds. Try to average it. There's gonna be like over 3,000 no-hit runs that have been done in the Souls game. So it's just based on probability, there's most likely at least one case where there's a run that has a hit in it and just nobody has noticed, even the runner. Has it happened to me though? Is what I was just thinking about it for some reason. Way more likely to happen, though, in a game like this where I just don't know it as well. But even, like, that example in Omid of the bug hit that I took, I didn't even know I got hit by it. Right? And I have, like, thousands of hours in the game. And I didn't even know I got hit. Give me the triple. Nope. See, so why did that guy spawn so early? Like, is it actually the HP amount? Yeah, it's interesting to think about that stuff, man. Especially since I've been doing this stuff for such a long time. And I've seen... I feel like I've seen almost everything I can possibly see. But yeah, so what was the hit that... Oh, right, I remember the hit on Valkyrie. Yeah, the catacombs in DS1. I don't remember what it was, though. But she dropped, and it was actually a very similar situation to that other hit I was talking about. Where you, like, drop down, and then you get hit in midair. And then it looks like fall damage, right? It just looks like you took fall damage. And I guess that's what happened to me, too, in the Omid League, right? I fell down, and it just looked like fall damage, but I actually got hit in midair. And so that's why there was no stun, there was no, like, sound or anything. What is that Raven form, dude? Imagine not going for the greed hit. Yep, this is 2009 AI right here. This game is very fun to run, you guys. Actually, really been enjoying it. More than I thought. Bookbait title? Ah, I see. Gotcha. Could be HP and time. Yeah, those are really... Yeah, I think those are the only things it could be. I'm sure somebody who knows more about the game knows exactly what it is. Yeah, I've been enjoying running. So if I compare this to running Elden Ring when it came out, I like this more. I've been having more fun with this than when Elden Ring came out. Just because Elden Ring, man, setup is so bad in that game. And I really like the fact that it's open world. I wouldn't change it. But it's just that's how it works, right? When you're running open world games. There's nothing you can do. And I think Elden Ring wouldn't be the same if it wasn't open world, like some people would want. Like some people have been telling me they want it, or they would prefer it to be more like more region locked, which is why a lot of people do the region lock runs. But then that takes then it's not Elden Ring anymore. So that's just the sacrifice you have to make. And I learned that when I was running Skyrim. I think that's the first open world game that I've ever run. What's this psycho doing, dude? Come on. Yeah, I think that was the first open world game that I ever did runs on. And, whoops. And that had a long setup. Do you guys remember that? For people who were watching, we did, on Legendary, we got our Conjuration up to 100 before we did anything. We leveled up a bunch of sneak and stuff too, man. It was pretty rough. Except the game was really consistent, so it didn't matter that much. Yeah, I would sit on one of the trolls in Whiterun, and I would just fucking power level my Conjuration, dude, with Soul Trap. That was fun, dude. Water. There's a video of the Skyrim runs, yeah.
Oh, you're just lucky. You come back alive.
Yeah, those are fun, dude. We might be running some Elder Scrolls games this year, I think. We were talking about doing the from, you know, Elder Scrolls 1 to 5, no hit or no damage it would be. I think that would be sweet, man. I've never played Elder Scrolls 1 or 2. Arena or Daggerfall, like I've just never played them. And I've heard that they're still worth playing. But I don't know, like, imagine doing a no damage run on those fucking ancient games. Not sure how well that would work out. Does that attack have an AoE on it? Like, do I have to be worried about that hitting something and then getting caught? The first? You think so? You think it'd be the first Daggerfall no damage run? I don't know, man. I was wondering if there were any Skyrim no damage runs when I did it, but like I remember there's this one guy that I used to watch a lot when I was playing Skyrim. I don't remember his channel name, but he always did like how-to videos on Skyrim stuff, like how to no damage Skyrim. I don't know if he like ever actually did the run, but did like a how to no damage Skyrim. I'm sure people know who I'm talking about. I just don't remember his name. No, it's not Yumfa. No. No, it's a guy who like basically exclusively did Skyrim when I watched him. Also, you know what's actually interesting? Yumfa subscribed to my YouTube, dude. I finally made it, man. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah, I like him, but like, dude, he's gonna see that that like insane copy pasta from that one YouTube comment, and he's gonna be like, "Why? Like, who the? Like, what is even going on here, dude?" Got this command that's like, I don't know. Surely he won't see that. Oh yeah, for sure. Smoking Ace, yeah, 1 to 5. I definitely don't think anybody has ever even considered doing that. But the only game I've done no damage runs on in Elder Scrolls is just Skyrim, so I would like to do Morrowind. I would like to do Oblivion. Oblivion, Hob did some no-hit runs on it already. But yeah, 2 and 1, I don't know. I haven't even played them. But I think Hob did Skyrim as well, didn't he? Can't remember. I thought he did Skyrim. Kick a bull. Dude, I think I did lose runs. I lost a run to that one time, maybe, in some dungeon. Or maybe it was just a practice run. But I do specifically remember getting hit by like a skeleton on the ground in some dungeon. That's like an actual thing that you have to know about in that game. You gotta be like, okay, where are these things that are on the ground, and how do I not get blasted by them? How do I not accidentally run into them the wrong way and lose my run? Actual considerations. All right, old hero. What's up, Ivan? Welcome back. Yeah, Skyrim is so much fun, man. I think it's just because I like the game a lot, and so it's fun to just play it more. And I think Morrowind will be similar. Dagger. Stealth. But it's very different than a run like this, right? Everything in this run, and in the Souls games in general, I'd say is very calculated. Whereas in Skyrim, it's a lot more of kind of adapting to the situation. I remember there was one hit I took, and there's a clip of it. The NPC's named, I think, Jadar, and it's some Khajiit in one of the final Dwemer ruins in the any percent. Like, I think the final one. And I got hit by him in such an insane way. Like, so it's an NPC that's at the start of the dungeon, right? And this is a Dwemer ruin that has multiple levels, right? There's probably 4 levels, or 3 or 4 levels in the dungeon. And he's in the very first, like at the very first part of it. Okay? And so, you know, I just run past him, and then I get to the next area, right? And you'd think it's like, okay, you get to the next area, you're fine. Because how Skyrim works is the dungeons are loaded in separate parts. Wow, that actually connected with something? Swing at it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, did I mess up? Oh, no way. Oh, swing. Swing. Nice. But yeah, so I get to the next part of the dungeon. And if anybody's familiar with how Skyrim works, enemies can, like, follow you through doorways if they're aggro to you. But he didn't follow me through the first doorway, so it's like, okay, you're fine. Then we progress through the dungeon. I get to the third area, and I go through the door. And he fucking teleports right to me, dude, from the very start of the dungeon. And it was because I didn't fully wait for him to de-aggro when I went through the first door. It's like, it's very hard to explain, but yeah, he literally teleported me to me like through an entire section of the dungeon. And then he hits me instantly because there's like a million traps where I was, so that's what running Skyrim's all about. But yeah, I think it's because I found a skip in the dungeon. I'd found a skip in the dungeon, and it saved a lot of time. But yeah, I just went too fast, and he was still aggroed, so the game just like stored that he was aggroed. And what's the build? Depends on the difficulty. If you're going with on novice, which my first one was, you can just simply go with the bound bow, and yeah, stealth archer, of course. But legendary stealth is always important. But on legendary, I use conjuration. I whenever I'm running other games, Monkey, I always do no damage because it just makes more sense, right? Because even when you think about just the no-hit rules for Souls games, it's very arbitrary, but no damage is not arbitrary. It's just, if you don't take damage, then you're fine. But with the Souls games, though, there's also, like, the reason why it's not no damage is because there's a lot of items that you can make use of, like Red Tearstone Ring, where you have to take damage. Well, I think that is literally the point of the fight. Like, the boss actually is blind. That's why it works like this. Which surely you knew. That actually, I really like that boss, man. It's an interesting, interesting mechanic. I like that, man. And it obviously, basically every boss in this fight is a gimmick fight, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Especially if it's a cool idea like that one. A blind boss that actually doesn't know where you are until you make a noise or whatever. I think it's pretty cool. I would rather that sort of boss than some garbage, like, duo fight. Goddamn cliff racers, dude. What is that cancel, dude? Insane cancel, man. What duo fight did I like and not? I don't think there's any duo fight in Elden Ring that I like. Like an actual true duo fight where there's multiple enemies at the same time. Zero. There's exactly zero. Yeah, it just comes down to the design of the fight. And I think FromSoft is... they don't have a good track record with duo bosses. They just don't. They have very few good ones, and they're few and far between. At least in my opinion. Because I think a good duo boss needs to adapt to the mechanics of Souls games. Like, you don't really have a way in Souls games to dodge multiple attacks at the same time. And so when you have two bosses that, you know, don't have any synergy with each other and they're just both attacking you, it doesn't fit the game. Like, it's just bad design. And so in my mind, a good FromSoft duo boss has to, or a good duo boss in a Souls game has to have some sort of mechanic that allows you to deal with them properly. And so yeah, Demon Princes, I think is the best example of that. It's all about isolating the bosses, and if you can't isolate them, then like it's going to be horrible. And what they did in Elden Ring is the duo bosses have AI that, you know, is supposed to prevent them from being too aggressive if one of them's already on you. But that's not a good design choice, right? It's just it's inconsistent, and it's not, I think it's not a great way to do it. I would not consider ONS a good duo fight. I think if it wasn't glitchy, it'd be one of the better ones, but I think it's missing what I'm talking about. Like, it's missing that one mechanic that allows the fight to be fought in a Souls game. I got Makoto, right? Yeah, I think ONS looks really cool, but from like a design of the fight standpoint, I definitely not a fan of it. And yeah, the glitches just make everything 20 times worse too. No, I think Double Ape and Sekiro also has, it's not as good in my opinion, but it has that thing that allows it to be. Whoa, I took no damage there somehow. That's really unfortunate. It has a mechanic that allows you to actually deal with the fight. And the way that boss works is very much like a Souls duo boss, right? It's not as well done as Demon Prince, in my opinion. Like, it's not as seamless how you have to fight the boss. But the way that fight works, and it's sort of like how Pontiff was supposed to work, except they totally botched it. The fight works, and so the main one doesn't attack. The main, like the white ape doesn't attack. The brown ape always does the same attack corresponding to whatever attack the white ape did. And so the way that the fight, like the way that you're supposed to do it is by by, you know, you have to kite around, which I don't really like that much, but that's just the reality of duo fights in these games. There's not, I can't think of a single duo fight where you don't have to kite them around in some way. But yeah, you got to kite them around, and then you're basically waiting for, you know, some attack from the white ape, and then after that attack happens, you know exactly what the brown ape is going to do. And so you can use that to like bait out certain attacks, and then, you know exactly what the brown ape's going to do, and you can deal with it. I think that's a decent idea, right? Because you have an actual way to deal with them. Demon Prince, I think, is just perfect, where they like take turns going at you, and then you isolate them, and it's, man, like that fight. That's my favorite FromSoft fight. Karchuggin, thanks for the 4-month Prime sub, dude. But the route that they took in Elden Ring, you know, you have bosses that, like I said, there's some AI in place that tries to prevent them from just spamming you down. And that also wasn't added until later, right? You think of the Trio Crystallian on the release patch, how they all just fucking like blast you down, and it's just not a fun fight at all. So they do have that, but a boss like Godson Duo, for example, it just doesn't cut it, I think, and especially when it's inconsistent, it makes it 10 times worse. It's so nice using the Makoto here, dude. Yeah, and I'm just talking like kind of strictly for duo fights, because there's a lot of multi-enemy bosses as well in the games that I think are just totally fine. There's also like some annoying ones too, when there's just like trash mobs everywhere. So what I'm really hoping for, like what I would like to see the most out of a DLC in Elden Ring, is a Demon Prince's tier duo fight. I would love to see that. And especially the mechanic that in Demon Princes, where you can choose which phase 2 you have. It, like, man, that is so cool. In my opinion. You should do that more. They should definitely do that more, where, like, depending on something, you can change what version you have to fight. And I guess ONS has that too, right? Which is a bonus, in my opinion. I like that about ONS. I guess that's kind of like the first instance of the idea. Maybe. Blackblade Kindred duo. All right, let's get magic.
I can forge weapons. You come back alive.
Where am I even going? Are we? I think we're just good to go here. Yeah, I guess so, Tiger. Maybe they just didn't want to like reuse their old ideas or something, but that's probably not true, considering the amount of ideas they recycle. But I do think in Elden Ring they just, you know, they wanted to put a lot of bosses in the game, and they didn't. It's very obvious that they just didn't spend as much time trying to make the boss fights good. And I don't mind that much. Like I actually enjoy how many bosses are in the Elden Ring. There's no question that the quality of them suffered a lot compared to like Sekiro and Dark Souls 3. Yeah, and I do think so. So yeah, I think the fundamental problem with a lot of duo fights is that it's just two enemies in a boss arena and they're attacking you. And the game's mechanics just don't really allow for it. But that doesn't mean that even some of the bosses that are like that, it doesn't mean that there's no good ones like that. And there's some that are definitely better than others. And yeah, Crucible Duo is pretty cool, I think, because the enemies are cool and stuff. But there's also a boss like Dark Lurker, right? A lot of people like Dark Lurker a lot, and that's a duo fight that is literally just two enemies spamming magic at you. But somehow, I always say FromSoft got really lucky when designing that boss, that it turned out to be really cool. But sort of the way that they synergize their attacks, it somehow just works out. Even though I have an issue with how it was designed still, or what the idea behind the design was. Not sure if you guys know what I'm saying, but like I actually like Dark Lurker a lot, but I still have an issue with how the design of the fight. But it just works out well. They got lucky, I think. It just happened. It just so happened that the movesets aligned somehow really well, and it takes a lot of skill to get good at that fight, where you can like fit in the punishes and stuff. Vinny, good luck at work, dude. Thanks for hanging out, man. Yeah, 3 Sentinels in DS2 is interesting. I think they're pretty cool. But then, yeah, you compare that to some bosses like, you know, some duo bosses in Elden Ring where it's just... Like, what were they even thinking, right? Misbegotten Crucible Duo? What even is that fight, man? Dark Lurker's cool boss. I'm okay with 2. No, I think it's what I said, that just the attacks align in such a way that you can be really aggressive in the fight. Because they're always casting magic and they're doing their like magic sword that you can easily just walk around. And so, yeah, the way the boss fight works, even though it's just 2 enemies attacking you and you don't really have any control over it, you can navigate the attacks in a way that gives you a chance. Omen Killer Miranda. I think you're right, dude. It could easily be one of the best duo fights in the game because it has that I think it has some amount of synergy, right? You're fighting one enemy who's aggressive, but then the other one's just sitting still. I guess the Misbegotten and Perfumer duo is kind of similar. So I actually agree. From a design standpoint, I literally think that the Miranda Omen Killer boss is the best duo fight in Elden Ring. Because like the fight allows you to isolate, and that's what it's all about, so. Kind of funny though. You would never think some random boss in Altus Plateau that has a flower in it would be the best duo boss. But yeah, I think the Perfumer is also decently cool. But the biggest problem with that fight, in my opinion, is the arena. They just, Misbegotten should not be fought in a small arena. With how agile he is. And it's the same problem with Red Wolf, too. An agile boss in a small arena with somebody else that you have to worry about, too, it just doesn't work out. But if they move that boss, that Perfumer Misbegotten duo, if they move that into the Crucible Knight Misbegotten duo boss arena, then like that's a cool fight right there, because she's constantly buffing him, and she like kind of has some attacks she does when she's stationary that you can deal with. Then on the other hand, like obviously the Misbegotten's just rushing you down like crazy, so it would work. Lothric and Lorien duo fight. Like it's hard to consider that a duo fight, but I guess it sort of is. I think it's really cool. That would be one of my favorite fight, or I think it is one of my favorite fights in Dark Souls 3, even with some of the glitchiness to it. But it would be one of my favorites if, yeah. It'd be higher up if there wasn't the bugginess to it with the teleporting. That's only kind of for no-hit runs, I guess. don't want to just recast my cloak here. I should probably time this better. Best Elden Ring boss is Malekith. I don't know if I agree with that. If you asked me that like 6 months ago, I would, but the more I fought them, one thing that really bugs me in boss fights is glitches, and I really like the Beast Clergyman a lot. Like, the Beast Clergyman's probably my favorite phase of a boss fight in the entire game. But Malekith, man, he's just, there's a lot of glitches with him, dude. And it really interrupts the fight. And I guess it's not really something you see too often if you don't do long fights with them, but when I was doing the fist kill on Malekith, which was about a 2.5 hour fight, probably at least 4 times he glitched into the pillar and just teleported back to the initial position. And yeah, I don't really like that very much. I think in terms of the visuals and stuff, it's probably the coolest fight in the game. Just gonna wait for the cloak. Oh, we're getting the turnaround. Yeah, and of course, all this stuff I say, you know, in terms of designing bosses, it's not as easy as I'm making it sound, I think. It's easy to have the ideas, maybe, but actually executing them in a game, like, I think overall, FromSoft bosses are, like, top tier. Even the bad ones, man, they're still really cool. It's not like I'm shitting on FromSoft or something. I'm not trying to. What? What did I roll? I think he does. I think he does, Matt. If I don't know. I guess I've never seen it, but I've also never stuck around long enough to find out. I'm sure he goes all the way down. I'm sure he does.
Soul of the mind, key to life's ether.
30. 54, I guess. Yeah, it is. It's actually, it's kind of scary that I can hear him attacking in the background when I'm casting there, but I'm pretty sure there's almost no chance he could actually reach me. Not with the damage we have, that is.
I can forge weapons.
All right.
You come back alive.
Man, even if we don't get the run today, I'm feeling so good about this game, dude, or this run. I'm feeling damn good, dude. Like, another run to this point. And I don't think we're getting lucky or something. I think just the strats are good, and I'm executing properly, and it's just a consistent game, I think. And I love consistency, dude. Oh, my Lanta, dude. That's right. Oh, what a huge mistake. Okay, wow. That was not so good. I need to just take my time a little bit more there, I think. Man, if that guy saw me... we could have been in trouble. What? Dogs, yeah, dogs are very nasty. They're so fast, dude. Almost like they're skeleton fast in this game. I wonder what made them go instead of going with like mana in Dark Souls 1, going with number of casts on a spell. Do you think it's because they realized that it was way too OP in this game with like the infinite refills and stuff? like, yeah, here's this insanely high-powered damage spell that you will literally get infinite casts of because we're gonna give you the spice. When I was doing my routing through here, that archer would always shoot at me for some reason. How's it going, Josh? Never had that happen before. Okay, I'll fix the delay in a second here. What horrible timing for that. All right. Yeah, 120 to this point isn't not terrible, except now the 15-minute waiting strategy. So, I think it's 4 full procs, right? Because I on the like one hit PB, I actually did kind of scuff this by going early, but like it was mostly because I was just seeing if I could go any earlier than waiting for the 4th proc. Oh yeah, I'm gonna wait for sure. And I even casted cloak there just to make sure, but even though you don't even need cloak here. How interesting would it be if I scuff the strat somehow and he aggroes to me and then I gotta like fight him straight up? Like I cast the wrong spell. Have more magic? I might, but that, that can't really be a bad thing, right? Yeah, this is where we start up, when we're doing the God Run 3, we start up the next game, and I go through High Wall or something. Actually, is that like an insane loophole in the God Run 3? So what if I started up another game, but I get hit in the next game? Is this fight cool? This is a cool fight. Yeah, it's just, so the reason I do this is because I suck, basically. I think this is a boss that you need a lot of experience to fight properly to kind of figure out all the glitchiness that happens. If there were no glitches on this fight, there's no question I'd be fighting him straight up. Like, no worries at all. But yeah, I think you can get to a point where you understand all the glitchiness and you get good at him. But I figured for me doing this run, it's the fastest. Instead of me trying to learn the fight for a couple hours to just cheese him every time. And it'll also be nice for the God Run 3. So I'm sure one day I'll learn him properly. And I do know how to fight him. It just, and I know his moveset well. Like I've done some practice, but it's just that it's all the weird glitchy cancels that he can do. So that's why I'm being a coward here. Usually I'm not a coward, but I am right now. Let's go on Kaza. So we're waiting for 4 procs. Each proc takes, so it does 900 damage, and we're doing 5 damage a tick. So I think it's like 3 minutes per proc. 3 minutes, and we got to do 4 procs, so it's about 12 minutes, and then we just blast them down. And that's why this route is kind of slow, right? Like, this route would easily be around a 125, even on a kind of a scuffed run where I'm still not doing things perfectly efficient at this point. Yeah, the route would probably be around a 125 or less, maybe even 120. So it's a good route, I think. It's just this strat is really scuffed. Yeah, exactly, Looney. Yeah, imagine I do that again, dude. Get hit on Old King Allant with the poison cheese. I think it should be impossible if I'm not completely dumb. Yeah, I do know. I do know that Demon's Souls is usually considered to be like one of the slowest games, but it's more just the routes that people use, right? The game has potential to be quite fast, as Kazoodle has shown in no-hit speedrunning. No-hitting the game in around an hour. Yeah, I'm completely dumb, Kaza. Yeah, you're right. I'm scared to put my controller down in case I hit a button. If this was the Xbox controller, I wouldn't be worried, but the way the triggers are on this thing, I don't trust it. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Arco, dude. Yeah, surely I have the damage. Yeah, I'll probably wait for all 4 ticks. So, yeah. Oh, wait, actually, didn't I wait for 4 last time, but I actually need to use 5? I don't know. I'm not sure yet, Eris. I haven't decided. Probably once I buy another maybe couple Xbox controllers, then I'll not use this thing anymore. I'm just kind of using this because, first of all, it's not a bad controller at all. But I prefer Xbox, and my Xbox is like kind of getting old, so I don't want to ruin it. So I need to just buy more. Like the Elite with paddles. I don't like paddles. Or I don't mind them, but I usually took them off when I had my Elite controllers, and I would actually just press the button instead of using the big paddle. But I almost never used it for anything other than just like splitting, or like if I'm doing speed runs, I just split. Like, just an extra button, basically. Not anything gameplay related. So I think 3,600 damage, right? That's 4 procs, but I thought last time... I thought I waited 3,600. Maybe it's got to be, you know, do the 5th proc. You claw well, but feel like you shouldn't, so you don't ruin your hands. Yeah, that's... I should probably do that, too, especially with how much I play games, and I'm just clawing constantly. What's up, Aziz? With the amount that I play games, I really should, and it's a miracle that I don't have any hand issues yet. But... like, there's no way, even with all the exercise I do on my hands and stuff, there's no possible way that, you know, down the line, I'm not going to have some sort of hand problems, man. So I should probably be smart now. No, mouse and keyboard, I think, is honestly worse, dude. Mouse and keyboard's got to be worse, overall. Ergonomically speaking. What's up, gaming president? But yeah, somehow my hands are perfectly fine, so far. Yeah, and I think in order to have, you know, a setup with mouse and keyboard that is ergonomic, you're probably gonna have to sacrifice some performance, probably. Like I have an upright mouse, and it's great for just, you know, putting my wrist in a more natural position, but if I try to do anything that requires mouse precision, I just can't. It's just so bad. Playing instruments. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with my hands yet. And yeah, I've been playing guitar and stuff for a very long time. I think you can't, if you guys use your hands a lot for stuff, and, you know, whatever that may mean, it's probably a good idea to try to work out your hands somehow. Strengthen them up. It's not just like the muscles, obviously. It's like the tendons and all that stuff. I'm not some expert, but it seems to be the play. No Warzone? I guess not. So 27, and then 36, and then I guess I'll probably proc him again. No, I think fabbing's probably, like, good for your hands, dude. Oh, I don't fucking know. Insane hand exercise, man. Guitar messed your wrists. Yeah, that can happen. What's up, Miklos? Yeah, I know a lot of people who needed, like, surgery because of just playing guitar. And it's not even, like, having bad form will make it, I guess, worse, or it'll accelerate it. But even if you just don't, then you're, like, it's still not good. Is the run over? Well, I hope so. I hope it's over, dude. That'd be so embarrassing if it wasn't. Still got 2 bosses left, and this is one of them. Yeah, this is like Tree Sentinel Cheese, except I guess it's a little faster. I'm excited, you guys. The consistency today was unreal. The consistency was actually unreal today. Every single run made it further than the previous. So this is how we started. The first run made it to Flame Lurker and I got hit because I was using a bad strat. It wasn't really a mistake. The next run got to Dirty Colossus where I got hit on an enemy before the fight, and it was because of a routing issue, which I fixed. So not a mistake. And then the next run got into Penetrator, which was a mistake. I just rolled poorly on attack, and now we're here. The new Draconic Sentinel cheese? I have not. It's the hardest boss in the game. I think if you're fighting straight up, it probably is, yeah. Like every attempt got out of early game. Every attempt made it past Storm King today. So I'm thinking that this game could be late. I already said it earlier, but I think this game can be late for the God Run 3. Like, we're talking game 4. I already feel better about this game than Dark Souls 1. New Dirty Colossus strat is good. It's been working. It didn't work exactly like I was testing it. What's been happening mostly is that I basically just kill him, and he doesn't ever turn around. But after this is game 1, definitely not. Definitely not counting this as game 1. No, I don't really like to do that, to be honest. I guess I have before. When I did Dark Souls 1, no hit, the first time I got it, I was like, oh, I might as well try Trilogy or something. But in this case, there's no chance I do Sekiro. There's no chance I do Dark Souls 1. There's no chance I do Bloodborne. The rest I could probably do, but... Bought a PS5 just to play this game. I actually like the PS5 a lot. I bought the PS5 to play this game as well. But obviously, well, I don't know. This is basically my job, so it's maybe a bit different. But I'm actually surprised at how much I like the console. Like, not even just the PS5, but having a console is really convenient. Hardest no hit is obviously Dark Souls 3, I think. I think it's obviously Dark Souls 3. It doesn't mean that it's the least consistent, but I think in terms of the skill required to do it consistently, it's the highest, probably. Compared gaming to sports and classical instruments, they have much longer teaching histories. Yeah, that's probably true. But I also think that just holding a controller is more ergonomic. Like, it's better for your, your body than like holding a guitar, right? On the left hand, it's just like kind of awkward how you bend it. Like, controllers were designed to be as ergonomic as possible, right? And also, most people aren't playing instruments for like 6 hours at a time, right? Most people. I guess this is the 5th proc here. Play some other games? I think I will. I was thinking about that. I do own God of War. So, I could play that. Not sure if I would do it on stream, though. A lot of other games I like to just enjoy off stream. Like Celeste and when I played Hades and stuff. It's a lot different, right? Also, part of the reason why I didn't want to stream them back in the time is because I would lose literally every viewer if I did that, but yeah, I like playing games off stream. I was playing this game off stream, dude. Maybe not casually. I was just practicing stuff, but... No, I haven't tried Hollow Knight, but I was thinking about playing it. And I probably will. Not sure if I'd do that on stream or not, though. But yeah, it is a lot different playing a game on stream for the first time than just like chilling and playing it not on stream. Okay, we are almost certainly ready to go for this here, but I'm just... Maybe we should wait for the 45, dude. I don't know. We are going to do some challenge runs in Celeste, though, you guys, I think. I've been wanting to do that for a while. Okay, this is enough. Surely. Imagine he did some, like, insane cancel. does some like crazy cancel, instantly hits me from behind. I wouldn't even be surprised if he could do that.
Let us proceed.
Yeah, like based off of what I've seen fighting him, my short time fighting him, I would not even be surprised if he could just do some like insta fucking spin around, instant slice, just kill you while he's dying. Like after he's dead, he shoots a projectile. Yeah, actually, I did way too much damage there. Like he died. He basically died and didn't even need the soul arrow to finish him off.
Surely you have seen for yourself the pain and suffering that fills this world. But God is merciful, and so created the old one.
There we go.
You fool.
GG.
Don't you understand? No one wishes to go on.
136, man. That's not terrible, considering we just waited almost 15 minutes for the poison cheese, dude. There we go.
Thy work is
All right, and this will be the first time I watch this, like, good ending cutscene, because all the other times I've just been killing her and not watching the cutscene, so. Yo, Rev, thanks for the 5-month resub, dude. There we go. Witless to hitless, you guys. I don't know how long it took me. I don't remember when I started my first playthrough, but I don't think it was over a week ago, was it? Yeah, Mad Mouse, thanks for the 1,000 bits, dude.
lull the old one back to slumber.
Would I say it's the easiest no hit? It's one of them, I think. I would say Dark Souls 2 is probably easier, though. I think there's... I don't know. It's really hard to say because a lot of... Was I supposed to do that? A lot of... When you're running games that people have run before you, a lot of how easy the run is dependent on how good the strats they came up with are. So... Jeff, thanks for giving us up to Rayman. So if somebody came up with great strats and I just have to implement them, then a run would be super easy, right? And I think that's... Dark Souls 3 is sort of at that point right now. I would still say there's some difficult bosses, but the strats with like hidden body are so good. But when I started Dark Souls 3, the strats were just atrocious, dude. And I was like mimicking horrible strats that the first runners did. So it looks a lot different now than it did when I started. But this game, like, there were some good strats, I think, and I kind of did it my own way too. There's a lot of, I'm sure there's a lot of strats I could have done that are better. But... Okay, it's 5 p.m., dude. Maybe we can play some Elden Ring today, or maybe I should just end. I don't know. Yeah, we have now hit every game in the God Run 3, so I guess we're basically ready to go for it, right? Valhalla, thanks for the 420, dude. Wasn't really paying attention to the cutscene. Insane credits, man. There we go. GG. I knew I was gonna get the run today, like. Obviously. Something very insane would have had to happen for me to not get the run today. Maybe, Casey. I don't know. I'll think about it, I guess. Yeah, it did take 6 hours. That's true. I thought I was going to get it in the first run of the day, but then, I don't know. We learned a lot of stuff still, though. So that's good. I think... I don't know if I'm up for playing Elden Ring right now. I guess if I did, I would probably start practicing the bingo, you guys, because there's going to be a bingo, like, league coming up. Yeah, I talk to Otz sometimes. I haven't talked to him in a while, but when I was running DS2 a lot, we definitely were in communication about stuff. Yeah, Otz is really cool. Yeah, we can maybe practice some bingo. I don't know if I want to, though. I guess we can. All right, well, I'm gonna take a break then. I'm I'm gonna take a break. I gotta also like get the game set up. What I'll be doing in 10 years? I don't know, man. Maybe the same shit. Who even knows? But yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes, you guys. I'm gonna go eat.